Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's pour. Tonight's pour is going to be a quick one. Why is it going to be a quick one? Because it's been a long day. It's late. I actually should be going to bed right now, but I wanted to come down and do one quick painting. It's going to be like I did in the beginning. I did a lot of 8x10s. I have a lot of 8x10s still, but I've sold a ton of 8x10s. So it was kind of what I would say I cut my teeth on learning how to do this was on 8x10s. And now I've progressed into a little bit bigger stuff, but I still like to do a little 8x10. And I'm using some pre-mixed paints because it's late and I don't want to spend time mixing them. And I'm using this Master's Touch. I have three colors. I have white, I have a gold, and purple. Where is it? There it is. Amethyst purple. So these are already pre-mixed with the pouring medium, so I don't add the Floetrol. I don't know if they actually use Floetrol, but you don't have to add Floetrol to these to get them to pour properly. So I was going to do a dirty flip cup. I've decided against that. I think I'm going to do a ring pour. So for those of you that don't know, a dirty flip cup is where you pour all your colors into one cup, and then you set the canvas on top of it, and you flip it, and you release the cup, and everything just kind of goes, and then you run it around. And so that's a dirty flip cup. The dirty part is that you're putting everything into one big mess, so it's dirty. And of course the flip cup is self-explanatory. So what I'm going to do is a ring pour. So in a ring pour, what you do is you layer your colors. And since I only have three, you make multiple layers of layers, if that makes sense. So I'll be adding some white, some purple, then gold, then white, then purple, then gold, white, purple, gold, blah, blah, blah. And then you just kind of pour right in the middle. And sometimes you jiggle it, gives a little pattern. The reason I wanted to go with a ring pour is because actually pre-mixed paints, in my opinion, hold their pattern a lot better than the paints that I mix myself. They'll hold a pattern, but it's pretty loose. So that's what I like to go with. And so that's what I'm going to go try. And we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't really turn out how I like, I might do a little swipe across the center just to give it some pizzazz, some wowsies, some whatever you want to call them. So what I'm going to do tonight, I was actually talking to a guy tonight about I don't really show my mixing of my paints, which I've been planning on doing and I will do here real soon, but I'm not going to do it tonight. But what I will show, because I'm not actually mixing paints because I'm using the pre-mixed paints, is I will set it up to show you how I layer it. So I'll try to get that in the video, and if it turns out all right, I'll leave it in the video. If not, and you don't see it here in just a second, you'll know it was not a good video or didn't capture it right. So let's get started on that. All right, I'm using an 8x10 canvas. So what I've done with the paints, actually, as you can tell, I took the cap off because I wanted a more open way to pour. Like here's the cap, so it's got that little hole, so it comes out and it's more squirty than just running in. If that makes sense, squirty. I don't know if that's a word. So what I'm going to do is just pour some white in first. Get that on the bottom. I'm going to go with some gold. And I don't have equal amounts of these paints, so I might have more white than anything, but I don't want more white than anything. And the reason I'm tilting it is so it will not submerge into the other paint. It'll just kind of flow and lay on top. So if I poured it straight in, it would just, like a person diving off a diving board, it would go straight in. So you can see how it's layering. I think I'm gonna have way more paint than I need for an 8x10. So that's what I mean by layering. And I'm just using up the rest of the paints because I'm not going to have enough to paint anything else with it. So there you go. Now that's a way full. I could probably almost do a 12x12 for that. So, but if you can see, let me see if I can move this around. The side of the cup, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. There you go. That works better. You can see how it's layered like that. So, all right, I'm going to stop this and rearrange the camera and do the ring pour. I might even change the canvas. All right, so I did change the canvas. I just think an 8x10 is going to be too small for this amount of paint. So it should cover this pretty good. So all you do is you start and just let it run right in there. You can do a little jiggle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm a little bit different than normal ring pour because I got quite a bit of paint. I'm going to pour some paint around the outer edges, kind of in a ring pour itself. Now, one of the reasons that I wanted paint on the outside as well is because when you do a ring pour, and the canvas is dry like it was on the outside, when you start moving it, the paint will actually fold under as it's moving out. So you'll lose the pattern. If it's wet, it'll just spread. So that's what I wanted to do with this. So what you do is you kind of let it go, get it so far, and then you bring it back to the center. And then you go, let's try to get this corner. Bring it back to the center. Let it go that way. Bring it back to the center. Bring it back to the center. See, a 8x10, this is a 12x12. This is plenty of paint for a 12x12. So there you have it. You have not a real successful ring pour, but it is a ring pour. So that is basically how you would do a ring pour. Normally I would put just white on the outside and just let it all run and go, but I didn't have all that white to do, so I had a bunch of extra paint in the cup, so that's why I just did the ring, as you saw. And so that's what we're doing with this one. So I do like all this in here. I love this here. I wanted to get rid of some of the white, and I do like this here. So it does pretty good, and wasn't quite what I was expecting, but it never is. Give it a quick torch. So there you have it. This is a ring pour style. There is some pattern in here, some depth here. Kind of looks all right. So that's kind of what a ring pour is. May not be the best one out there, but practice, practice, practice. So